We're about to jam like it hasn't been jammed before. I'm so excited about being here.
Almost 300 video game developers have gathered at the University of British Columbia this weekend to flex their creative muscles in a 48-hour race against the clock.
It sounds complicated to do a game in 2 days, but it's totally feasible.
Well, the nice thing, though, is it's not really a competition. I mean, they have judges, but last year they didn't choose a winner. They chose 10 featured games.
A game jam is a collaborative event that brings together a wide range of interdisciplinary people, from programmers to artists to designers to audio engineers, in a weekend typically to see if they can take a game from concept to completion in that space of time. Global Game Jam is just that, it's global. So all around the world people are participating and making games in the same weekend.
Every Global Game Jam has a theme for participants to incorporate into their game. This year, the theme is a simple audio cue. After dinner, everyone reconvenes to hear game pitches and form teams.
We give people an opportunity to come up and 20 seconds to pitch their ideas. And then everyone kind of goes to roughly a spot in the room. When everyone is done, we tell everyone, okay, go toward the idea that you like.
While listening to the pitches, inspiration strikes Scott Inglis, a design student at Simon Fraser University.
You play as an extreme transplant doctor trying to get a heart from one patient to another, but there's no time for refrigeration, so you just have to grab it, and you hold the mouse like it's the heart, and you have to alternate hitting the left and right mouse buttons to keep the heart beating until you can platform your way to the other patient.
I think it was halfway through someone else's pitch, I mentioned to a friend, what if you had a game where you hold the mouse like a heart and you have to keep the heart beating? Then he said, you have to go pitch that. So I went up and pitched that, and I stood off to the side, and then afterwards a bunch of people came up saying they wanted to work on it.
This like super buff doctor like reaches... That's what I was picturing, so like not a serious theme at all.
The newly formed team begins brainstorming. Soon, they are ready to divide the labor and get to work.
That's great. I like it.
Right?
Yeah.
By Saturday morning, the team has jumped headfirst into development. As team lead, Scott has his hands full.
We have a lot of the separate parts working, which is at the part now where we're trying to get them all working together. We have a lot of people working on a lot of different things at once.
The team of 8 have known each other for less than a day, but they've become fast friends.
We get along really well. We pass ideas back and forth really well, and we feed off each other really well.
By Saturday evening, the team has a rough prototype up and running, but a few hiccups have Scott's team behind schedule.
The character's not animating right now, he's just a still image. On top of that, the music and the art is taking a little bit longer than we expected. But I mean, everything's still on track to finish in time.
The team will have to work late into the night to finish before the 3 p.m. cutoff. The late night has paid off for Scott's team. With 3 hours of development time left, they're close to having all of the game's parts working together as intended.
Jeremy's finishing up some music. We're adding the last minigame in. We're making the menu screen look good.
Hopefully cutscene.
Hopefully we're going to have cutscenes, and we're just finishing up the art right now. That should be in the next few minutes, I think. Yeah.
This is it. It's time for the final push. The 3 p.m. deadline has arrived, and the team is finished. The result of their efforts?
And our game is called Dr. Dozer, Emergency Transplant Surgeon. The premise is you're a transplant surgeon who has like an action hero-y background kind of thing, and you have no time for the traditional methods. So he needs to get a heart from one patient to another in order to save their lives. But he does it by just grabbing the heart out of the guy's chest and running with it.
Creating a working game in 48 hours may sound crazy, but for Scott, there's no better feeling than working on something that excites him.
I think it's just something about the nature of game design that requires so many different kinds of people coming together to work on something. Like you need artists, programmers, designers, all those things. Nobody's task is ever too daunting to pull off in that time period. And so it's possible to do a 48-hour jam and have a really good time while doing it. I really look forward to next year's Game Jam. I'm going in like full force. Can't wait.